it's HerpityDerp. And his opponent, in the top right of Yonsu, in the snowy climbs, from SQRL Team Squirrel, the purple Protoss, it's Hitmonchan.
How long's a minute? Okay. Ideally, I need the plastic ones.
That's about all there really is to say about this for about
those out.
3 or 4 minutes, because you can't read it.
Right. Sorry about that.
Very effectively.
I am back.
Are you back?
Yes.
Ah, what a fool. What a fool.
So, what have we got so far?
Nothing. They've only just started.
Oh, thank goodness.
Have you been on have you been in the game and on me?
Yes, I've been on you.
Haven't. Awesome.
Otherwise, that'd be slightly awkward.
You know, it's just how I like it.
It does make it more fun that way, doesn't it? So yeah.
Oh yeah. I just saw you lean in on the screen, just be like, yoink.
Yoink.
Change it over to me.
That was making sure that,
Yep.
that I was actually in the game. So what are we looking at in terms of build here? We're looking at Reapers again.
Can't say at this point. The gas has just gone down. Very likely to Reapers.
Marvelous. So
It's good stuff.
I mean, how effective is that in general as an opener? I mean, it seems to be slightly problematic.
Reapers, as an opening, is normally absolutely fine. In Bronze and Silver Leagues, it's possible that Reapers seem a bit stronger than they actually are, just because the players don't necessarily have the micro or the build order competence quite there to handle it every single time. But ordinarily, a Reaper isn't that much of a problem for an experienced player, and you'll find that, whilst it is a common opening, for a Reaper to actually kill anything from a Protoss is unusual because of the Mothership Core. The Mothership Core basically literally pops as the Reaper turns up, pretty much most builds. And if it doesn't, the Stalker does, unless they go Nexus first, and then there might be a problem.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, like, how often do you see people going Nexus first against Protoss?
Against Terran, quite frequently.
Against Terran, yeah.
You did at one point. Now the new changes to balance. It's quite possible that Protoss will be playing a little bit more tentatively than they felt the need to in recent months, and thank goodness for that, because I for one am sick of seeing blink all-ins every game.
Yeah, that's part of the reason they nerfed it, because you kept seeing it all.
Yeah, it's just not that interesting. Just bad for play, much like Swarm Hosts.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, Swarm Host, just like Blink, Swarm Host has its uses. I don't object to the concept of the Blink all-in. I object to the Blink all-in every single game. It's just annoying.
Yep.
It'll be annoying for Terrans as well, but as a spectator, I find it annoying. That Nexus coming down pretty fast after Warp Gate research, which is very unusual. Very, very, very unusual in the current meta.
Well, wait, sorry, say that again. After the Warp Gate, was that?
Warp Gate research started before the Nexus went down.
Is that not just wanting to get the Warp Gate out as fast as possible, then?
Well, yeah, that's why it's unusual, because you don't need it.
Okay.
There's no situation where you need to get that fast Warp Gate versus Terran, unless you're doing a big gateway all-in. Other than that, if you're getting it out for defense, then you're doing it wrong, because the Mothership Core does everything that Warp Gate can do and more. And if you're getting it for an attack, then that's a little bit funky, but it does make sense.
And the Reapers.
So we'll have to see what Hitmonchan thinks he's doing. But given that he's got no probes out on the map and no additional gateways coming down, I think that's just a little bit of a macro.
One gate robo?
That's okay. That's fine.
It seems to
One
be.
gate robo is pretty standard. It's actually really late for the robo, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I'm just sort of thinking if, I mean, you were saying one of the things that you didn't like earlier was the sort of 7.5 to 8 minutes, or sorry, was it 7.5 to 8 minute timings that Terrans can push in?
Yeah.
Because
it's possible that he could do something a bit like that here, but he hasn't got the add-ons down on his stuff fast enough to really make it count. But he could do it. He absolutely could do it. And with the late Mothership Core, it's possible that it could be quite disgustingly effective. This Mothership Core is like 2.5 minutes late.
Wow. That means it will not have enough energy for Photon Overcharge for a bit, but actually that's not a massive deal at this point.
It should be okay. The interesting thing about it is how, even with fast... Oh, this is a crazy, crazy build from Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan, but I like it now, and I didn't like it until this point because, and I still think it could be better optimized. But I do really like the fact that he's got his robotics bay nearly half completed by 7:20. That means it's going to be done by 8 minutes, and he can hit basically one of the fastest Colossus timings it's possible to do.
Nice.
Yeah, if he goes for that, that's really, really strong. And it's really good for defense as well.
Here's the question.
The issue is, again, that kind of timing window.
What's this pack of Marines doing?
He's going out on the map.
Are they going to go any further than that watchtower? Because they can do some serious pain if they go any further.
I hope so. There's only one Zealot, 2 Stalkers, and a Sentry, and he should... if he forces an overcharge, that's good. That's good. Even if he loses a Marine for an overcharge, that's worth it because it means it's a time warp that the Protoss can't use if they choose to be aggressive. It's a recall that can't be used. It's a time another thing that can't be used in any of the.
Oh, he prioritized the Sentry. Yeah,
that's pretty sharp. Boom, and he doesn't even lose a Marine. Fantastic. That is perfect from HerpityDerp. That's exactly what you should be doing with your Marines in the early kind of mid.
Actually, you know what I really would... The only thing I could have seen that would have done that better would have been taking that Reaper and while you're attacking the front, pillage the worker line, because it's entirely possible that while the Protoss player is looking at the front, looking at the fight, he's ignoring the fact your Reaper's taking 3 or 4 of his workers out.
I think he lost the Reaper, didn't he?
No, Reaper's still going around the map.
It's still there.
It's currently looking for proxies.
Fair enough. It's a job that's got to be done. He's just poking up to see if that Nexus cannon has run out, but I'm pretty sure you can just see it on the map, much like
you can't see it on the map, I don't think, but you can see it on the ground.
Okay.
And it's gone.
It's gone now, anyway.
But he's got a Colossus now, so... Yeah.
Yes. One Colossus, possibly... Well, no, it's enough to deal with this force, because there's no Marauders in it. But... why? You could have just walked away.
Yep. The thing is, at this point now, a Terran player is going to be slightly panicky because his opponent has Colossus, and while it can't, it's going to have range by the time it hits. So he doesn't have anything in those bunkers that can really deal with it. I don't know what the angle of attack's going to be, because I have to admit, like, I like the idea of coming up to the third, where the pylon, one of the pylons is about to be built, and just going in from the side there, because the Terran has to wander round to attack you.
The thing is, there are like no Marauders here. If he had some Marauders, he'd be in so much better of a position. But he's producing Marines out of his barracks. He should be producing Marauders, and I think that above everything else is what's going to kill.
What's going to kill him? Yeah.
He doesn't.
He's got mines though. He's got mines.
Mine's good unit, but not Colossus killer. I like the fact that there's a Viking there. This Viking will take 14 shots to kill that Colossus. Although thankfully it's taken some hull damage already, but it's just
he's just held with 2 Widow mines.
That pushed back.
Yeah, he's stopped it for now. I mean, at this point he's fixing up the Viking, which is nice.
He needs those Reans Marauders.
So now it's going to take 7 volleys to kill.
If he's got 2,
he's got 2 Vikings.
Yeah, basically. 7 volleys. That's not a realistic time frame. Still.
Nope.
This is why most Terrans get a much faster starport than this, and as soon as they scout Colossus, build a second starport, which is on its way. Credit where credit's due. 4 force fields coming down, unfortunately, not quite able to grab those.
He can kill them. He can. Well, you know, them 7 volleys. Yep, that's happening.
Come on, this one just sitting up there doing nothing. Don't use that.
No, all army command. How can you betray me like this?
He should be focusing down the Vikings here, but it actually isn't going to matter because he's pulling SCVs. SCVs do not fight against Colossi while the Viking is in a good position to be shooting that Colossus, but it's not enough with no real army support.
Nope, it's done. Even if he manages to hold this now, he's lost his natural.
He's devastated. He is devastated, and there's another Colossus just pushing his way across the map. There's a version of this build that you can see, I've seen Hero do, that hits about the same time with 1-1.
The move command!
That was so polite as to almost seem facetious, but I think it was just the kind of person that HerpityDerp is. I think he's just a good sport.
Was that game 2 then?